I get it walking into a warehouse or a home garage and seeing a shiny, heavy-duty table on the shelf, only to find it wobbles when you try to lift a motor, is the kind of disappointment that makes you double-check every spec before you click Add to Cart. You've probably seen listings that promise industrial strength and easy mobility, but in real use those claims can feel a lot like marketing fluff. That hesitation is why I'm breaking down the Vestil HT051818A steel hydraulic post table today, so you can tell if it lives up to the hype before you spend your hard-earned money. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, this isn't a generic workbench you'd toss in a hobby corner. The HT051818A is built around a 500-pound capacity frame, and the name says it all, an 18 by 18-inch footprint, hydraulic post that you can raise or lower, and a set of casters that let you roll it around the shop floor. Those are the headline numbers, but the real question is how they translate when you're actually loading, unloading, and moving parts day after day. If you run a small to medium fabrication shop, an automotive repair bay, or you're the kind of DIY enthusiast who spends weekends rebuilding engines, the ability to adjust the height with a single push on the patented ergonomic handle is a genuine time saver. I've watched mechanics in a local garage use a similar hydraulic table to lift a transmission into a comfortable working position, then drop it back down to roll it onto a trolley. The push handle feels low effort, and the hydraulic cylinder holds the height steady without any extra locks or clamps. That means you can keep your hands free for tools while the table stays exactly where you set it. Portability is another practical win. The two rigid casters keep the table stable when you're loading a heavy piece, while the two swivel casters let you pivot it into tight corners. In a crowded shop where you might need to move the table from a bench to a welding station, that flexibility cuts down on the need for a separate dolly. The casters roll smoothly on concrete and even on shop floor tiles, which is a small but noticeable convenience when you're shuffling multiple pieces around. Now, let's talk about where the design shows its trade-offs. The 18 by 18-inch top surface is solid steel, which gives it that industrial feel, but it also means the table is a bit unforgiving for delicate work. If you're assembling electronics or handling thin sheet metal that can scratch, you'll probably want a protective mat on top. The steel surface also conducts temperature, so in a workshop that gets hot from welding, the table can become warm to the touch after a few hours of use. Another nuance is the height range. The hydraulic posts let you raise the table up to about 40 inches, which is great for standing work, but the lower limit sits around 28 inches. That's comfortable for most people. Yet if you have a shorter stature or you need a truly low profile for a specific task, you might find yourself bending more than you'd like. The adjustment mechanism is straightforward, but you do need to keep an eye on the hydraulic fluid level over time. The manual doesn't call for frequent refills, but in a high-usage environment, it's something to watch. Who should definitely consider the Vestil HT051818A. If you need a sturdy platform that can bear half a ton, that moves easily on the shop floor, and that can be set at a working height with minimal effort, this table checks those boxes. Think of a machine shop that regularly moves heavy presses or a garage that swaps out large drivetrain components. The hydraulic posts give you that one-hand height adjustment you don't get on a static bench, and the casters eliminate the need for a separate rolling stand. For anyone who values durability over aesthetic flair, the blue powder-coated steel finish also resists rust, which is a nice bonus in a damp workshop. On the flip side, if your primary projects revolve around light woodworking, hobby-scale model building, or you need a large surface area for spreading out plans, this table might feel cramped. The 18-inch square top can be limiting when you need room for multiple tools or larger workpieces. Likewise, if you're looking for a table that folds flat for storage in a small garage, the hydraulic posts add a bit of bulk that you won't be able to collapse completely. In those scenarios, a simpler, non-hydraulic workbench might serve you better. A practical strength that often gets overlooked is the way the table handles uneven floors. The hydraulic posts can be set individually, allowing you to level the top even if your concrete slab has a slight dip. I saw a user at a community workshop set one side a few inches lower to compensate for a sagging spot, and the table stayed rocksteady during a full-scale engine rebuild. That kind of adaptability is hard to find in cheaper, fixed-height tables. Conversely, the lack of built-in storage is a minor drawback. Some competitors offer integrated drawers or